Maybe that's enlightenment enough, to know that there's no final resting place of the mind, no moment of smug clarity. Perhaps wisdom is realizing how small I am and unwise, and how far I have yet to go. I don't know shit, and neither do you. Hey guys, welcome back. My name is Spencer, and this is, of course, Modern Thought. I appreciate you clicking on this video and watching, but if you can, please like and subscribe. It really helps me, especially because I'm a new channel. So, Anthony Bourdain, if you don't know who he is, he started off as a cook, I believe in New York City. I'll correct myself if I'm wrong. He was an amazing cook, worked his way up in the kitchen, became a head chef. He also had a couple shows, and he basically traveled the whole world, trying different foods, experiencing different cultures. Very interesting man. I think if there was like an award show for the most interesting man in the world, he'd definitely be up there in the top. There's no doubt about that. Unfortunately, as you guys know, I'm sure, a few years ago he did pass away, and it kind of shocked everybody when the news came out because it was kind of sudden, out of the blue. Of course, he had committed suicide. Sad. I think a lot of people were sad hearing this news because he inspired a lot of people to travel, to eat better, to eat more, to experience different cultures. And he kind of came out about that time where social media was just starting to rise. And when he first started writing books and first started his show, I think it was before social media, or at least social media as we know it today. And what was so important about that, instead of nowadays I can go on Instagram and look at, oh, hey, it's my buddy Jim, he's in Cancun with his girlfriend. Oh, great, they're having a great time, they're drinking, awesome. And a lot of people back then weren't really doing that. Not on social media, at least. You know, it was more like, hey, it's my birthday, here's a picture of me and my friends. There was not as much artistry in the post. People didn't have the kind of creativity that they do now. And so what we had to do for people that wanted to watch and learn about other cultures, there's a lot of ways. Obviously, he's not the first one to do it, but I think he was one of the first ones to do it in an entertaining way and to make it look like it was fun, rather than, oh, you know, Europe, their exchange rate is this. You know, it was more about, hey, this is a culture that you know nothing about, that I know nothing about, and let's experience it together. I think that was awesome. Again, he inspired me. I've done a lot of traveling in my life, and even today, I watch a lot of clips on YouTube and episodes trying to get an idea of another culture. Obviously, in the intro, I read the quote for you. I'm just reading it right now. I think what's so interesting to me about it is Anthony Bourdain, even when he was a cook and he made it to the top and he became a head chef, he was so interesting because even though he had kind of gotten what he wanted, according to his writing and again, this quote in particular, obviously making a video about it, is so important because it lets you know the insight of who he was, and I think who a lot of us are in understanding that, hey, listen, completing your goals as you see it, as you want, isn't necessarily what will make you happy. And I say that because here this man was the top of his profession, at least he thought at that time, working as a head chef in a hot restaurant in New York City. This is what a lot of chefs dream of, New York City, Paris, London, LA, and he wasn't happy. He realized that, hey, there's no such thing as arriving. And I know that sounds weird. Let me dissect it for you. There's a screenwriter by the name of... There's a screenwriter named Charlie Kaufman. Did an interview probably 10 years ago, maybe more than that, 15 years ago. And this guy won an Oscar, has been nominated for a couple Oscars. He's, by any stretch of the imagination, at the top of his profession, right? Some of the best directors in modern day have directed his movies. Some of the greatest actors have played in his roles. And I think it's interesting that in his interview, he told the guy, he says, I don't feel like I've arrived anywhere. There's nowhere like, there's no making it. There's no such thing as making it. And I think that's important, especially if we're going to talk about this quote and how Anthony Bourdain felt. Listen, there's no such thing as making it. All there is the process. My favorite line, it's not a long quote, so I guess the whole thing can be my favorite line, but perhaps wisdom is realizing how small I am and unwise and how far I have yet to go. That is something in his own profession, in his life, in his quest for happiness, in his quest for enlightenment. And I think we all have that as well. The realization is so important, right? I'm only 33, but the older I get, the more I realize I don't know shit. When I first became an adult at 18 years old, I thought I kind of knew everything. you know, I was like, oh, I know what I want to do in life. I know how it's going to go. I know everything about money. 18 years old, mind you. I know everything about money. I know blah, 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 blah. And then by 23, I was like, I didn't know shit at 18 years old. I'm 23 now. Listen, I can drink now. I can have a beer. I can go to a casino. I've loved someone for the first time romantically. For the first true time, at least. I'm a man now. When I was 18, I'm still a teenager. I'm 23, I'm a man. And now I'm 33, and I was like, I didn't know shit when I was 23. And it's funny because now I don't have that, like he says, smug clarity where I'm like, oh, now I really know. Now I'm 33. Now I know what I'm doing. No, it's the opposite. Now I'm like, man, there's so much I don't know. And there's so much I don't know even about my own self, let alone everyone else around me, let alone the universe. Let alone politics, let alone finances, happiness, life, art. I only know what my little brain understands, and that's microscopic when you think about the vastness of knowledge there is. So this smug clarity that he presumes, I think we all kind of wish it happened to us. One day we'd wake up and go just like the movie, what's that movie? The one with Bradley Cooper. What's that movie called? Holy crap. Limitless, sorry. In the movie Limitless, I'm not sure if you've seen it, he takes this pill and it basically is enlightenment in the flesh, I guess you could say. It makes your IQ go from, just say the average IQ is 100, you're now 400 IQ. Or I think they even said a 4-digit, so it'd mean 1,000 IQ, which is 10 times smarter than everyone else. I'm sorry, I kind of got off track. But the point of the matter is, there is no moment, like in the movie Limitless, where everything's now like, now I know, now I can see the universe for what it is. I know how humanity is. I've seen inside my soul, and I can see inside yours. Whatever people that think they're enlightened, the more enlightened you think you are equals the more unenlightened you actually are. That's my interpretation of the quote. There's a Vietnamese monk by the name of Thich Nhat Hanh. I know I didn't pronounce that right. And the quote goes, enlightenment is when a wave realizes that it's in the ocean, that it's a part of everything. And it gets me kind of thinking, what is mastery? The enlightenment comes when you know how basically unenlightened you are. I think for you to be a true master at something, if there is such a thing, I'm not so sure there is, by the way, I think you have to know how much you don't know. I mean, look at Kobe Bryant, 5-time champion, considered one of the best basketball players to ever exist, probably would be in the Mount Rushmore. In my opinion, he would be. And he said that every day he wakes up at 5, up until he retired. Because he thought, listen, if everybody shows up at the gym at 8 and I show up at 5:30, that's 2.5 hours of work that I'm getting every day. Is it going to affect me this practice? Probably not. Is it going to affect me next game? Probably not. Is it going to affect me even this season? Probably not. But what it will affect me after 5 years, 5 years times 2.5 hours per day, that's going to add up. And that's going to make me better than you. And he did this until he retired. Here he was, the best in the league at the time. And yet still he realized, hey, listen, I haven't mastered this. I have to work hard at this. He always wanted to keep pushing forward, keep moving forward. And that determination was the key to success. Mamba mentality. Always be a student. Always be a student. That's the key. Because when you think you have it, when you think you know, that's when you stop being effective. That's just a fact. That's just a fact. Tom Brady's won 7 Super Bowls. And you know what? If he wins another one this year, then it's 8. Anyways, he's won 7 Super Bowls, which is 3 more than any other quarterback ever. But yet, that dude every day is at the gym. That dude every day is looking at film. You think, dude, he's been in the league 21 or 2 years. You'd think he's seen everything. He probably has. In his mind, he's never prepared enough. No stone left unturned. He makes sure that everything is done, everything is prepared. And again, after 7 Super Bowls, and winning MVP, I think, 4 times, consider the GOAT, the greatest of all time, let's be real. But yet, he still works harder than the backup quarterback just trying to prove himself. That's a perfect example. Perhaps wisdom is realizing how small I am and how far I have yet to go. To even get to a point of even approaching what looks like mastery, you have to always be a student, never a master, essentially. You know, it's weird. And also, I think a lot of you, I don't know if you guys are, I'm a hardcore romantic. I don't read romance novels. I don't watch a lot of romance movies. I don't mean it like that. I mean it like a real world romantic where in my mind I have this perfect place, this perfect life that can never exist, that real world can never match up to it. And I think that this quote brings me down to earth a little bit. And the reason for that is it kind of pulls you off the scent trail of perfection, so to speak. That quote is just a small part of a big legacy, I think, that Anthony Bourdain left on society. I think he's inspired tons of people with his food and travel channels, with his books, with his experiences, with his outlook on life, with his demeanor, with his way of people, because he was not only a food guy, he was a people guy. He liked connecting with other people, with other cultures, and I think so many people found their passion for doing that through him. And I think that's important. I think it's something that we don't really talk about, and not about him. We always talk about the show and how good it is, which it is, and his food and everything else, and that's great. But I think that he connected with so many people through different cultures. It's hard to connect with people, trust me, it's hard to connect with people in my own culture, my next door neighbor, it's hard to connect with them. All right, guys, I'm signing out. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe, please like, share, comment, even tell me if you don't like me. Don't tell me that, just make me feel good. I am a growing channel, and if you like me, please just hit the like button and subscribe and the comment and the bell ring and everything else, and just send me cookies. Join my Patreon. I don't even have a Patreon. All right, guys, I'm Spencer from Modern Thought. See you later.